Prior to joining Triad, I was with the House of Representatives, served in two capacities there. One as research analyst and executive director of the House Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee, and then later spent about 14 years working with the House Education Committee, both as a research analyst as well as a executive director. Prior to that, I had a career as a public school educator. I spent 15 years with the Hempfield School District in Lancaster County, teaching both foreign language as well as social studies. I got started in what is generally referred to today as retail politics at an early age. I spent it actually a good 20, 25, maybe even close to 30 years getting involved in politics, Republican Party politics at the grassroots level. Started out, as many people did, working a campaign or two. Eventually got to understand the point that it's the committee person in the Republican Party, at least in Lancaster County, where they make the difference. They have a lot of input, they have a lot of influence with the voters and also with the candidates. So if you wanted to be involved, you wanted to have some opportunity to make an impact, that was where you had to get involved. That meant both raising funds at the local level. It meant also that you had to be aware of who candidates were. Meant sometimes having to make some hard decisions between choosing this candidate for school board and that candidate, and sometimes it meant also having to make some hard decisions with regard to people who you considered friends. So getting involved in that level of politics, I think, was very, very important. Because of, I guess, what little success I had, or at least my ability to work with other people, I then became the chairman of the Hempfield Area Republican Committee, which was overseeing, in Lancaster County, you oversee an entire school district committee, and all the committee members in that particular area generally fall under your supervision and work with you as a chair. It's an elected position, and I felt honored to have been the area chair for the Hempfield Area School District Committee. That also elevated me to the position of going to a lot of the area chair meetings, where you get to know all the other school district area chairs, and you can convince them, or at least demonstrate to them, that you have the capacity to work well together and perhaps also to lead. I was delighted in 2002 when I was elected to be the chairman of the Republican Committee of Lancaster County, which is reputedly, at least, the strongest, most active committee in Pennsylvania in terms of Republican numbers. One of the key events, I guess, that occurred during my time was that supposedly we were the sixth highest plurality for the President Bush, in his re-election effort in 2004. That came from Lancaster County, amongst all the counties across the United States. So we thought that was a pretty nice little feather to have in our cap. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but reputedly it's out there. It's brought me into contact with a lot of people through the state committee, as well as a lot of the national and statewide leaders have come into Lancaster County, and I feel blessed I had a chance to get to know them. However, I would also be a derelict if I didn't mention the fact that nobody ever gets to these positions by himself or herself. It's always through teamwork. It's the Republican Committee of Lancaster County which, day in and day out, manages to do its job, delivers the vote, which actually makes Lancaster County strong. It isn't necessarily the chair, it is the local grassroots people that make it that way. I'm thankful to say that during my tenure, the only thing we did was win, and I think that was, I'll take that any day of the week. So. Well, the reason I'm very pleased, I think, to be with Triad, I think, number one, it does have a good reputation. When you talk with people and you tell them you work with Triad, there's an instant awareness of who Triad is, and certainly the partners and the staff that they have working for them. So to be affiliated with them in that regard, I think is certainly a blessing. I don't have to introduce the firm at all. It's already known, and I think is a good thing. I think the staff is very diverse, both politically as well as the background they bring in, whether it's healthcare issues, transportation, environmental, or in my case, education. I think that it cuts across the gamut of issues that any particular public affairs firm is going to be dealing with, and I think that's important. And I think I like also the team approach. Even when I was the executive director of the House Education Committee, I always tried to have a staff meeting with my fellow staff members every Monday morning to make sure that we knew what was happening. And even though it was always difficult to predict what might happen during the week, at least you had a sense what the individual members were working on, and was there a place you could support or them, or they could support you. And I think it was really a help to have that kind of a team approach, to know that if you can't make a meeting, or if there's something that is going on that for some reason or other you need some help, there may be somebody else there that can go ahead and fill in those details, fill in the blanks that are missing. So. Accomplishments and achievements in the House of Representatives, when you're a staff member, don't usually get a whole lot of credit for those. That usually belongs to the sponsor of the bill or the chairman of the committee. However, I'm kind of delighted to say that in the time I was there, I felt got quite a bit accomplished for the chairs that I served. In the House Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee, for instance, we worked very closely with the Pennsylvania Poultry Federation to enact two pieces of legislation that were very important to the poultry industry at the time. Because of the avian influenza that was occurring, we did truck sanitation, and later on, when there was an incident with regard to salmonella outbreak, we had the cooling period for eggs, so that we had egg refrigeration law took place as well too. That was helpful both to the industry as well as to the larger community, the consumer. The House Education Committee, the one bill I guess I'm really pretty delighted with, because I spent a lot of time working on it, was the Act 48, which was the continuing education for teachers. It was one of the Ridge administration's very important pieces of legislation that they wanted to get accomplished in their agenda. And I'm pleased that we worked with the education community, the teachers and the teachers associations, as well as with the school board and the superintendents association, and even some citizens groups, to try to craft a bill which I think everybody in the long run felt very comfortable with, and seemed to work out well for the Ridge administration, because it got very quick approval. So. Well, I'm always a little concerned about claiming any kind of expertise in any particular areas, but ones I do have some specialties in are politics, education, and also generally in government. I think I understand the processes. I once told somebody that you get two types of people in the legislature. One are the results-oriented people, the other are the process-oriented. I believe I would probably put myself in the latter category. I think I would be more concerned with the process in government, because I think if the process is pristine, it's well addressed, I think most people can usually accept the results that occur from that particular process.